Hello everyone. Today's topic is Humayun's Tomb, and this topic is for the fifth semester student, and the subject is Art Appreciation. Department is Fashion Technology. So let's start with the presentation. First is the timeline of Humayun Tomb. In 1561, the original time of the building when it was built. So the Humayun tomb, which was built in 1561, the location of the tomb-based particular site opens the discussion of constructing political power through monuments. The tomb was located in that particular site primarily due to two factors. First is its proximity to the first Mughal city built by Humayun in Delhi, and more importantly, it is famous Aulia tomb so that it could draw upon the religious significance of the buried person and establish an association with Humayun and indirectly to Akbar, its patterns. In 1857, colonial preservation efforts of ASI under the aegis of the British imperial powers. In 1993, its modern designation as a World Heritage Site, Humayun Tomb was declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1993, and extensive conservation work has been carried out since. This began with restoration of the garden, restoration of pathways, repairing of water channels, and even planting shrubs and other plants that were popular in the time of Mughal. Introduction of Humayun Tomb is the Mughal Emperor Humayun in Delhi, India, built by Akbar. Designed by Mirag Mirza Ghias, the tomb stands on a 120 square meter platform and reaches a height of 47 meters. Built of rubber masonry, the structure is the earliest example of the use of red sandstone and white marble in such great quantities. The central walkways terminate at two gates. It has two double-story entrances and the west gate which used now, while the south gate, which was used during Mughal era, aligned at the center of the eastern wall lies a baradari, literally a pavilion with 12 doors. Finally, on the northern wall lies a hammam, a bath chamber. On the southeast of Humayun tomb, there is a fine square tomb of 1590 to 91 known as the Barber's tomb. This is the floor plan and sectioning of the Humayun tomb, which you see in the uh, uh, diagram of the Humayun tomb. In plan, it is a irregular octagon with four long and four short sides. It is surmounted by a 42.5-meter high double dome clad with marble flanked by decorative pillared kiosk, which is also called chhatris. The middle of each side is deeply recessed by large arcade vaults with a series of smaller ones set into the face. The interior is a large octagonal chamber with vaulted roof compartments interconnected by galleries or corridors. This octagonal plan is repeated on the second story. Now, what is the elements of design used in Humayun tomb? First is line, the use of horizontal and vertical lines in the elevation. Shape, the shape of the tomb is bulbous, the arches are pointed. Color, because of the use of red sandstones and white marble, the color of the entire structure is red and white. Texture, the combination of rough texture of the sandstone and the soft texture of white marble. Now, principles of design in Humayun tomb. Pattern, geometrical pattern at the interior of the central dome. The various jali patterns because of which the interiors are well lit. They act as lattice screen from which the sunshine enters the interior. Contrast, Humayun tomb was built from red sandstone and white marble and whose exudes a stark contrast against the blue sky. You can see the images of Humayun tomb which shows the pattern and light contrast. Emphasis, the dome of the Humayun tomb acts as a marker in the structure. The emphasis is because of the white color and also because of the bulbous shape of the dome, balance. The structure in all perspective is a balanced structure having a balanced plane, elevations and balanced view. Rhythm or movement, the use of continuous arches which direct the movement of the eye in a straight line. Another slide shows the architectural features. The most striking visual feature of the tomb is its size and its garden setting, which you see in the image of the Humayun tomb. In terms of both these features, the tomb established an unprecedented example in Indian Islamic architecture. One of the eye-catching features of the tomb is its raised plinth that is the cause of its visibility on the city skyline today. But historically, its importance lay in the 56 cells housed within that raised plinth and that were used as the burial place of almost 100 royal descendants and relatives. The built form of the building, though apparently derived from existing Sultanate and Timurid examples, it distinct from either. It attempted to fuse together the formal aspect of both these types. By doing so, he established a link as a successor of the glorious Timurids of Iran as well as the Islamic Empire in India. The use of red sandstones with white marble is a reference to the previous architecture of the Delhi Sultanate and places the building as a logical continuation in the same tradition. Aesthetics, these elements contribute to the visual treat at Humayun Tomb. A very well chosen rich red gravel used for the paths, a delightful fountain, water flowing in the stone-edged channels and planting rising from below the walkway to the above walkway as it should, a chadar, white sheet cascading into a pool. Humayun Tomb Garden has a symmetrical plan because the word Chahar Bagh means four garden. Etymologically, it is tempting to think of this as a classical example, but it now seems unlikely that the old Persian, Timurid and Afghan gardens which inspired this pattern were themselves symmetrical. This is the ornamentation of Humayun Tomb. You can see the intricate design on the walls. So, this is the presentation of Humayun Tomb in which you have learned about the architecture or about the Humayun Tomb qualities. So, I think you all will be understand the presentation very well. So, thank you very much.